I'm dating coach and relationship expert Jennifer Hurwitz, and welcome to Doing Relationships Right. Raw, authentic, and insightful, this podcast is a no bullshit look at all things dating and relationships. The good, the not so good, and the what the hell was that? No worries, I've got you, and we'll figure it all out together without taking ourselves too seriously here on Doing Relationships Right. Here you are at midlife. Your boobs have entered a new zip code. You have jeans older than your daughter's new fiance. And now you're single again. But is that cause for a crisis? Hell no. It's time to pick yourself up, Buttercup. Whether you're freshly unhitched, just dipping your toesies back into the dating pool, or ready to dive into a new relationship, my new book, Midlife, Priceless, a dating coach's guide to finally doing relationships right, has you covered with new dating and relationship advice tailored to meet you wherever you are in your relationship journey. Join me, Jennifer Hurwitz, author of best-selling books, One Happy Divorce and Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda, as I share BS-free tips and laugh out loud personal anecdotes to help set you on the path toward finally doing dating and relationships right. Grab your copy of my new book, Midlife, Priceless, at jenniferhurwitz.com. That's jenniferhurwitz.com. Good morning. Good morning. This is Doing Relationships Right. I'm Jennifer Hurwitz, and I'm your host every single Tuesday. I love it. I'm back with my guests in the house, and it's amazing. And I was bored for 2 months, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to pick up the microphone again, do a little something. And I am so excited because I have the best guests. So, today you can't see her because I'm not doing videoing anymore, but this gorgeous woman is sitting here. Her name is Kerri Brett, and she is like fabulous and like a jack of all trades kind of thing. But what she does that is the most amazing thing is she does photography. Okay. Which I love because I can't do that. And, also she is one of the like coolest chicks I know, but she does photography for online dating profiles, which I think, Kerri, I do think that the online dating profile picture is the most important part of your whole profile. I don't care what anyone says. I think it is. Do you think?
I don't think
okay,
I
let me
know.
read your bio and then we're going to, okay. So Kerri Brett is a Boston celebrity photographer and the host of the Shot at Love podcast, which I was on, just so you know. It's very awesome. Okay. Anyway, the first motivational podcast around online dating. Kerri has great empathy for single people struggling with the challenges of online dating. She understands the art and psychology around what makes a successful profile, and it all starts with the leading photograph. I just said that, right?
Because you knew how important.
Kerri, yeah, right. Okay. Kerri noticed that your online profile appearance, quote unquote, your personal brand, was the key to successful dating outcomes. In 2019, she launched the Swiping Soiree, a live seminar that taught women how to empower themselves and change their lives for the better. The Shot at Love podcast engages a larger audience, helping others find love. And you won some amazing awards recently. Your podcast and the episodes. We're going to talk about that too. Kerri Brett, hi, honey.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi. Thanks so much for having me. I'm honored to be here. I adore
I'm just so
you.
glad to have you. I ditto.
It's going to be great.
I've been following you for a long time. I'm excited. Okay. So first of all, a lot of my listeners are in 40s and up in their midlife, and some of them aren't, but most of them are. And we're online dating, and they're dating after divorce, and they're dating during midlife. And all of my clients that come to me say the same thing. I need help with my profile pictures. Now, I can write an amazing bio. I can coach them, through the whole thing. I cannot take a picture, Kerri. So I'm going to be sending them to you. What makes a beautiful picture? What do you think? First of all, how did you get started? Tell me your whole story, and then we're going to dive in.
I've been a photographer my entire life. My father is an amazing photographer. He worked at the Boston Globe as a photojournalist for 55 years. So I grew up in a dark room, literally, in the news business. And I started photographing celebrities for covers when I was 20. I'm 50 now. Yeah. So I've been doing this a little while. And I have a portrait business outside of Boston. And people hire me to make them look as good as possible. And if we're going to do this in a competitive world of online dating, you have to set it up correctly. You have to put your best foot forward. And there's so much psychology around hiring a professional photographer, because if you're going to do that, you find special clothes. Perhaps you hire a makeup artist, you get your hair blown out. All of those steps make you feel better about yourself. Plus, you're telling the universe that you mean business, that you're investing in 100%. Yourself. Right.
Yes. You're investing in yourself. That's right.
And what I do, I've been there. I was 43 with a 13-year-old in the trenches of Tinder. And I broke the internet with my images, not because I'm anyone special, but because I was doing things differently than other people.
I wish we could see them.
Well, you can raise your image by association. So I couldn't, you think about Instagram and the influencers. They go to beautiful places. They have fancy clothes. They use the best lighting. They have a team. And I didn't have a team, but I had my ability as a photographer. And I may not have been traveling the world, but I could raise my brand or my image by a photograph of me and Annie Leibovitz, which I did use. I
see what you're saying here. Okay.
I also think it's important to have a photograph of you dressed up at an event, which is basically the pretty woman move. So Julia Roberts puts on a fabulous dress, and that attracts a different type of viewer. I mean, you're really selling yourself. I hate to say it, but I didn't make the rules. I just knew how to play ball. And so I set up my profile in a way that was really bold. My leading photograph, I used a black and white portrait of myself, but it was definitely a glam look.
I did too. I'll be honest, I had a black and white picture too. Definitely glammed up. I mean, I did.
And then the secondary images are more like you every day, but I definitely I showed myself in a way that I had a good career. I was invited to a lot of great events. I could hold my own. I could attract someone who was successful. And it all helped. It definitely helped. And it gave talking points, and it sparked interest and intrigue. Who is this girl? Who are her friends? I actually have a lot of very beautiful friends, and you don't want to get in that trap either, where they don't know who.
Right, who is who? I know that's one of my rules. Right,
that's one thing.
So let me ask you, Kerri, I have some questions.
Sure.
So here's my thing. And so what happens when you have, I have clients that come to me and they're like, first of all, they're adamant they don't want to take professional pictures. And they say to me, you know what? I'm like, the first mistake is that you don't want to take the picture. Okay, fine. But then what if they feel shy, or they feel like they're not worthy? And that's, I think, a whole other song and dance and the whole other issue themselves. But how do you tell someone, look, I mean, I'm listening to you describe your profile and I'm thinking, I want to look at that girl. Your profile, even the way you're describing it, sounds interesting to me. It sounds like art. It sounds like a magazine. It sounds like something that I want to take time to read. And why do you think there's such a stigma against people wanting to put that out there on Hinge or on Match or on, is it something, what is it, do you think?
I think people approach online dating in a way that isn't all in. I think if you want to be successful at anything in life, you have to play to win. And I think people dip their toe in the water and they don't spend the time that they should on their bio. They don't spend the time. They think it's good enough. Right. Online dating is literally a whole bunch of people that think it's good enough. You have all those men holding fish, all the men on the golf course, all the men with a trash can behind them at the gym. I mean, crazy stuff. But that's not going to serve you.
And then what happens is that when you do see a picture of a man that's dressed for success and sharp looking and standing in front of a building and whatever, you think that it's fake. It's you can't, where's that in between where you can, you know what I'm saying? My clients are no, that's definitely catfish. He looks too good. And I'm no, he's actually just using a professional photographer and he looks great. It's so hard.
It is hard, but I'd much rather see someone in a suit than someone in a Patriot sweatshirt in their mom's basement, or what basement are they in? So you can't do that as a professional adult. So you really have to take it seriously. And a lot of the time what I say is kind of controversial because there's a lot of pushback because there's fear around online dating.
I think so too. And I think that people don't want to put the money in because they don't want to invest the time and the energy because there's a lot of they're negative and they think it's not going to, it doesn't help anyways. But I don't think they're giving it enough time.
It does help
to work.
It
right?
is the biggest game changer, and it is the most it should be the most carefully considered piece, because if you don't stop them in an instant, if you don't stop them in a split second, it doesn't matter what your bio says. Men are attracted to how you look initially. Doesn't mean that will stay, but they do fall in love with that leading photograph. They do. And so people will say to me, well, I don't look as good as that photograph. Well, they hold on to that in their mind, and then when they meet you up close and personal, they still have that photograph. I had photographs. It was kind of funny. My boyfriend's 5 years younger than me, and I had older photographs. And he said, and I knew that I pretty much looked like my photographs, but I didn't look, say, however young I was at the time. But I was still 43, so it wasn't, I still think I looked young, young enough.
Like I was still rocking it.
I was doing my damnedest as a single mom. And he said to me, I don't know. He laughed. He said, I don't know if you look exactly like your photographs. And I said, oh, no? Well, I said something like, well, do you still think I'm pretty? And he said, absolutely. So see, you don't need to look, but that was my confidence. I had to gain confidence. I'm very confident as a photographer. As a person online dating, I was not confident.
I think that's a big deal too. I think it's
a game changer. Confidence is a game changer. Until I made it.
Yeah. Have to.
And I think it's scary meeting someone new.
Absolutely. In any situation, online, in person. And for me, I'm always much better. My pictures, for whatever reason, happen to be, better. I think my pictures, I'm very photogenic. So I always get oh my God, your pictures are so great. Then I'm like, oh, you like my pictures better? It's very hard.
It is hard. If people say stupid things difficult. Because they're nervous. And that was probably something. That was probably something that he said because he was nervous.
Yeah, yeah.
And I almost didn't go out with him because his photographs were so bad. And
oh my gosh, that's so funny.
And he was so handsome when I met him. And,
it's so funny.
And so you're not your profile, but you better put your best foot forward if you want to have results.
And how often, Kerri, do you think you should change your pictures?
Oh, you can. That's a good way to be back up in the queue.
I know. Thank you. I was just going to tell you. I wanted to see if you agreed with me. Yeah, get your algorithm pumping, right?
Definitely.
Flip those pictures. I know.
And keep these guys on their toes. So if you change up your photograph, they don't know why you're doing that. Why is she doing that? Like, keep the intrigue going.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And that's the psychology of this whole thing.
Totally.
It's unfortunately or fortunately, whichever way you slice it, it's a game. And you got to play it.
You got to play it. So for almost 3 decades, my job was working at the Improper Bostonian, which is a leading city magazine in Boston. And because it was a free publication, that image had to be really strong. So let's just say 150,000 people walked on a certain block in the financial district every day. Well, what's going to make them stop, bend over, open up the box, and take out the Improper Bostonian? The cover. So the cover was how we generated all our income. And I knew how to stop people on the street in an instant.
Cold in the tracks, yeah. You're like,
so I knew how to do it on Tinder. It was the same formula. And so it's really, how do you get more eyes on you.
On your picture. Yeah.
So my boyfriend's a real estate agent, and he's like, why would you not hire a professional? You're trying to sell your house. The better the images, the more people.
Of course. It's just like, it's common sense, right? It seems that way.
But people.
So can people, do you offer like, you should, I don't, but I'm sure that you have done this, but like people come to me all the time. They're like, which should be my first picture? And I'm like, I can, my set of eyes on it can figure it out, but like to have your set of eyes, someone who like is legitimately like, this is your job, right? I mean, you should offer 15-minute segments to just pick the first profile picture.
That's interesting. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I would pop it up on your website and be like, hey, push this way, and have people literally send you their 5 pixtures and you pick one.
Well, I've had that for people that I coach, and I'll say, what are you putting out there right now? And they'll send it to me. And again, they think it's good enough. And you want to build a story about your life and what it would be like being in your life.
Yeah. Okay, y'all, we need to talk about the holidays and divorce. It's a stressful time for families, especially when alcohol is involved, and our friends at SoberLink want to help. SoberLink has teamed up with divorce and family law experts to provide information that offers peace of mind during the holidays. For those who still haven't heard about SoberLink, it is the solution if you are going through a divorce and custody case involving alcohol. Whether you are falsely accused of alcohol use or are concerned about your child's safety because of the other parent's alcohol use, SoberLink can help. SoberLink works to keep children safe, and its technology makes it a gold standard in alcohol monitoring systems. Don't miss out on SoberLink's free guide for the upcoming holiday season. Request it today at www.soberlink.com/DRR. That's soberlink.com. And I think it's amazing. It should be like you're reading a magazine or you're looking at I just don't think people, I think that women right now are so frustrated with online dating and so like angry and bitter that they almost don't want to invest the time. But it's kind of like that chicken and the egg, or, if they would invest the time, maybe they wouldn't be so frustrated and angry if they would just give it. Does that make sense?
What happens when they make the decision to hire me? It's a place of vulnerability. It makes their insecurities come up. And I know that sometimes when I have to be photographed, I'm like, I can't believe I put people through this for a living. But what I do is I call it magic lighting. I have this, lighting's my specialty. So I know how to make people look really young and feel really comfortable. And I will, depending on how much confidence they have in themselves, I might have to lend them some confidence temporarily and build them up until they trust me, until they see that the beauty that they thought they lost was still there. And now I can show them on the back of my camera, look how beautiful you are. You are a rock star. And in the process of doing that, they tell me all the things they're worried about the date. And then I'll say, don't say that. Lose that storyline. That's in the past. We're moving forward. These are your strengths. You're really funny. And I, it's like a first date in a sense where I get
you're like coaching while you're doing the session, basically.
While I do the photography.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool. It's like hands-on.
Totally. Because
that's awesome.
I don't want anyone to suffer like I did on online dating.
I feel the same way. That's how I feel.
And
that's why we do what we do,
that's
right?
That's why we do what we do.
Yeah. Because it was really tough. And I remember, like, we've talked about this before, you and I, even on your show, like dating some real, and I think back and I'm like, what picture, this is so funny to think about this. What picture did I put out there that got me that specific type of guy that I didn't want? Because I know it was the pictures. It had to be something I was portraying, something that I was putting forward that said, give me a fuck boy.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think your vibe, I know because I went through so much to become the person I became to finally attract my boyfriend. If I had met him 2 years prior, I don't think we would have worked out. So I had to learn. I had to go through all those things, but I was coming from a place of desperation. And I think I think you get knocked down, and the more things don't work out and the more bad dates you go on, you just really start to sink. So if you don't have a team of girlfriends, or if you don't have the resources somewhere that says, wait a minute, no. I can't tell you how many women call me crying, this has happened, what did I do wrong? Well, you did do some things wrong. And I have to say that, and that's okay, because I only am saying that we all make mistakes. I made mistakes.
Yes. We learn from them, right?
We learn from them, and at
that's why we're
least
sitting
I'm
here.
telling you so that this doesn't happen again.
Right.
And people had to tell me things that I didn't want to hear too.
I didn't want to listen though at the beginning. And that was my problem. When I was right on my divorce, I was like, oh no, I know it all. I've got it. No problem. Oh no, I did not. And that's why why we're doing what we're doing, right? But it's one of those things where like I can watch my clients, and sometimes they'll text me from like the bar, and they'll be like, I think I really screwed this one up. I'm like, yes, you did, girl. Yes, you did. But like, it's just like, it's hard. It's really hard because confidence is so sexy. And I think that what you do, Kerri, when you make someone look so your pictures are, I scroll through your Instagram. I don't even get to see most of them. Like, that's just a little bit. And I'm like, my picture's the worst out of all of them because you didn't take it.
No, yours,
Did you know that?
Well, I picked yours.
It's awful.
I picked yours out of what.
I know, but it's not, you didn't take it.
Well,
I want to come to you.
You'll have to come. You'll have to come.
I want to come to you. Your pictures are so beautiful. Like, they're just like, they're beautiful. They're stunning. And I think that like, when you look good, you feel good.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely,
when you put something out there and it's like, you want to feel good.
You do. And that's half of it. And so a lot of times people will come to my studio and they'll leave and they're dressed up. So they're like, well, I did pay for this makeup. I'm going to go sit at a bar. I'm going to go do something. Yes, and they meet someone right away without even changing their photograph. But they have a new kick in their step, a new inner confidence. And you really have to do the work on yourself. It's so hard.
I feel like we'd be such good friends. I wish we lived closer. We would just hang out. I feel like don't you feel that way?
I wish we knew each other at the time.
Back then. No.
Because we would have figured it out quicker.
I think so too. It took me a while. It really did. And I remember that what you just said, feeling that desperation of it, like just, it's so hard to say it out loud. Like, I can't believe it. But like, I was so desperate. I was so like looking for that void and that like looking for something to fill that. But then I did the work, and then I was like, I got it now,
right, Right. I think
just everything changes.
That's why you pulled in a lot of those people, because your vibe was low.
Oh God. I remember I was making my bio so that this is crazy. I tell my clients now, but like, oh, I love hiking. I love sports. I love the outdoors. No, I fucking don't. I was like writing my bio for them. Right. Instead of for me, about me, it was like looking, and some girls are doing that. They write stuff that's not about them. It's what they want the guys to think that they like.
Right.
So that they like them. Right.
And even now when people ask me what I like to do, I feel like my answers are so different because I don't like to go on boats. I don't like to ski. I don't like to do a lot of things that most people do because I'm a content creator. I'm a creative. I'm an artist. I walk around half the time dressed like a cyber criminal, not seeing the light of day, and that's really who I am.
I like to sit inside all the time and like write and type.
Me too.
I'm working. Me too. I'm a content creator. My boyfriend's like, do you want to leave the house today? I'm like, oh no, I'm good.
I don't.
I'm in my nest.
Right.
I call it my nest.
And
he's like, really? I'm like, no, I'm good.
And I love people. It's not that. It's just, I'm in my own creative world.
I'm the same way, Kerri.
Different
I'm the same
than
way.
A lot of people. And it doesn't do it for me. And that's okay. And it's okay to say that. It
is okay to say that.
It is okay to say that.
I agree. I love that. Yes. And I think that we need to say those things and we need to express what we're looking for and use our words and say, no, I don't want this and I do want that. And there should be nothing wrong with that. And I love that.
That works.
That's kind of the trend.
In my advantage was because I already knew that I was different. And I knew that as a child. I knew that I couldn't use words, but I knew that I was in the ethers as far as creativity.
I love that. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional. I love that
because
Kerri.
It's lonely. It's lonely when you don't necessarily fit in, or things are you you are a little different, and that's okay. But there was only one speed with me, and I didn't have a filter because I'm very honest. And I wasn't going to change that. That was the ABCs of me. So when I texted back, I said what I really thought. And I got a lot of attention. I did. And I use my humor, and I think I use my humor as a way to protect myself, because at least I would be on the couch or in my bed, wherever I was texting, dying laughing. I was entertaining myself that I would send these things back. And I'm like, but that was me screening them.
Yeah. To see if they could handle it.
This is how I'm going to be.
This is me. I'm not going to change. That's so funny. We're so alike, but it's so interesting. I was the same way. I was like, fuck it. They can't take me like this. I mean, this is who I am. I'm not going to change.
I think I had gone through so much in past relationships where twisting myself into a pretzel and setting up a relationship being somebody that I wasn't, that ship had sailed. And I think you have to get to a point in your life where it's okay. I should be okay enough just the way I am. And the right person will love all the ridiculous things that I do.
I can remember being told I was impossible to love, or I'm too much, or you turn it down, or you're the Energizer Bunny. I mean, I've heard it all. And at 50 years old, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm finally able to sit in my space and be like, you know what? None of that. But that's to hear those things, it's just.
I had to have an Oscar-winning actor on a shoot tell me, and it's interesting because I had broken my foot and I was physically hobbling back to my car after shooting, and I was emotionally and physically broken down to such a point, and I had the shoot wrapped. It was all good. And I said to him, I don't think I'm lovable. I think I'm too much. And he said to me, he was concerned. He said, did you ever think, Kerri, that all those things that you think are too much is what makes you so special? So I'm like, I had to literally have this come to Jesus moment with an Oscar-winning actor who said, your heart is so big because it needs to be so you can create the images you create. Someone's going to love that heart. Someone's going to love your creativity. Someone's going to love everything about you. And then he said, and you're very smart, Kerri. And he said, smart men like smart women. And I think that's also one of the things that happens to women, is that they feel penalized or punished for being good at their job, being successful, being smart, being able to do all of the things. And if they don't like you, next, moving on.
Yeah, you have to learn that, because I remember dumbing myself down when I was in my 20s. I was a partier and I did this, and I was just, Jen, it's so much fun. She's so much. Yeah, no, I mean, it's very interesting how we evolve and change and grow and learn. And, yeah, I mean, now it's like you stand in your space. I am who I am. This is it. If you don't like it, fuck off.
Yeah, you really have to. Why are we showing up on these dates trying to be a representative? You can't have a true connection when you can't really authentically put yourself out there.
And why wouldn't you want to be with someone who also wants to do the same thing?
Right. When you say exactly what's on your mind, it's so disarming and it's so endearing. I was literally crying into a paper napkin on my first date about my ex. I mean, I was just not in a good place, but I said enough. I said a lot of wrong things, but I said a lot of right things that my boyfriend said, this girl is trying her hardest to get it right. And he could move past. I mean, my outfit was like the worst. You don't have to necessarily have the best outfit. You don't. I did the stupidest things. I would get like a spray tan and a blowout. I mean, what am I doing? And I'm going to last 5 minutes on this date. You really just need to show up as yourself.
Be authentic. Just show up as you. Show up as a person. And you know what? If the person across the table, I always say this, can't be vulnerable or can't say what they want or wants to play games, that's not your person. I mean, It's just not. And I feel like you know it when it's not your person. You may not know when it is so quickly. Maybe it takes a little bit, but you know when it's not.
I agree.
Right? I mean,
I agree.
So sure, it's interesting. Oh, I love you, Kerri. I think you're amazing.
Thank you.
And I want to come get my picture taken so badly. You guys don't even understand.
You will.
It's just amazing. So first of all, where can people find you? A Shot at Love podcast. People have to listen. Everything's going to be the show notes, but the Instagram, that's where I find you.
Right. So you can find me, Kerri_Brett on Instagram. My podcast is Shot at Love. You can find it where you find all podcasts. I have 100 in, tomorrow I release 152 episodes. Yeah.
That's awesome. It's exciting. It's so exciting. Well, I'm glad that I could be one of your
And you'll
come
episodes. Back on.
I would love to come. I will come back anytime. I would love it. So that's that. This has been so great. And I just want everybody to do a couple things. If you're dating right now and you have pictures that you are wondering if they're good or they're not good, or if there's a question that you don't think they're good, then they're not good. Right? I mean, if you're questioning it, if you're looking at your picture, you're like, I'm not so sure, then no, it should wow you. You should feel good about posting it. Right? And if not, call Kerri. That's it. Just call Kerri, give her a ring.
That's so nice.
And she'll help you.
You want to look confident. You want to look genuine, but it has to feel like you. Like you want to look at it and be like, that's me.
Yeah, that's me. Can you give us any, another couple, a tip on the way out the door? What you would do, one big thing when you're taking your pictures or?
I love lip gloss.
I love lip gloss. I'm obsessed with it. I have 4 of them sitting here right here. I love it.
I think it can make you look younger.
I think so too.
It's just that I don't know what it is about lip gloss, but
I love lip gloss.
Ask any makeup artist. Well, I have one makeup artist that I use who I love. She's a genius. And she's like, better get my lip glosses ready to go to Kerri's studio.
I do not leave the house without lip gloss. It's in my purse for a date, lip gloss, eyelash curler, little zhuzhing wipe for my vajayjay. That's about it. I'm ready to go, lip gloss and all, and my phone. That's it. The couple of things. Oh my gosh, Kerri, it's so nice to see you. I get to see you. No one else gets to see you, but I get to see you. It's so nice.
So great.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being
honor.
here.
I've had so much fun.
You're a doll.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day weekend because this is actually, we just had Mother's Day and, I don't know. That's it. Everybody go do something fabulous for yourself today. Take a couple pictures, be confident. And I don't know, love yourself. Go love yourself, everybody. I'm Jennifer Hurwitz. I'm your host every week, and this is Doing Relationships Right. Peace, love, and so much truth. Bye, y'all. Hey, thanks for listening to Doing Relationships Right. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the show, subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcast episodes. And please grab my books, One Happy Divorce and Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda, on my website, jenniferhurwitz.com. And look out for my new book, all about doing dating right, coming soon. As usual, thanks for listening. See you next week. Peace, love, and truth.